Hello everybody, this is Martin John, and we are talking all about the Tao of the day. I just kind of jumped on here without even thinking about it. I'm not even prepared. Wow, that's how it goes sometimes. You just kind of step in and do the next most obvious thing. And this was the next most obvious thing for me right now. I just picked up my trusty little iPad because I needed to get an iPad to do this app, and here I am. I don't know. I'm going to go with number 40 today. I'm just taking number 40 out of nowhere. I don't know why. The movement of Tao. Tao is always returning and also always yielding. In the manifestation, all things are born into existence, yet surrender and are renewed every moment within Tao. There's an interesting thing about this as I'm thinking about it. Tao is always returning, and Tao is always returning. It is also always yielding. So returning and yielding, returning and yielding. There's no ceasing of that movement. Now, in the manifestation, and we have to recognize that when we talk about the manifestation, what we're talking about is the stuff, but manifestation, when it is harmonious, is connected to Tao, right? It is a resemblance of Tao. Even though there are things happening under the surface that are Tao, the manifestation kind of responds to it all. So here we are. Tao is always returning. It is also always yielding. A part of you, right? Like the you that you are is Tao, and the you that everything is Tao. So the wall that you see and the car that you drive and all of that, that's all Tao. Now, all of that is returning and yielding, returning to a state of wholeness and yielding to this moment. In the manifestation, all things are born into existence. So you're born, right? That's returning into existence and yielding to the manifestation, yielding into manifestation, yielding your wholeness to something that seems partial. Yet surrender and are renewed every moment within Tao. Every time you can get back into this state of return and yield, you are going to be renewed. Recognize that there is no destination and that this is a constant just ebb and flow, up, down, up, down, up, down. That doesn't mean vibration. It doesn't mean, like anything on a measuring stick. It's just return to yourself and then yield to what is. And as you yield to yourself, you learn about who you are and you return to yourself and then you yield to what is. This is very similar to what I talk about when I talk about recovering yourself. You return or you recover who you are, and then you yield that identity to the whole of humanity, the whole of existence. And then you grow into something new, returning to who you are, because you are not in this manifestation ever going to be able to recognize the whole of all that you are. You're only going to be able to recognize that from the manifestation, from the vantage point of manifestation, from the other side of manifestation. Once you die and kind of recognize that you are more than manifestation, you will know who you are. But until you return and then yield to that and then return again and yield to that again and continue to grow throughout your life until it's over. It's always about getting closer to the whole that you are, getting closer to the Tao, getting closer to the Brahman, getting closer to, the wholeness of accepting all that is and accepting that you are all that is. And so this one, the movement of Tao, this is the way Tao moves. You're born into the manifestation, and so you need to recover from that, because like that closes your perception. Your perception's closed off when you're in the manifestation. You believe the manifestation, you think the manifestation is true, and yet the manifestation is just a sliver of a glimpse of truth. And depending on how you're able to witness it, might not have any truth in it at all, because it might just be your perception. Like there is no right, there is no wrong, And there is, like, you are here in this space, constantly returning to you. Tao is always returning. It is also always yielding. And so this is the movement of Tao. Return to a center, yield to receive, return to a center, yield to receive. And so as you receive, you are not resistant to anything. You're not resistant to holding anything. And so you can never be full because you're constantly yielding. You're allowing those things to go through, and you return. Return, this is me now. This is who I am in this moment. And that's not an identity. It just happens to be what it is. In the manifestation, all things are born into existence. So as it's born into existence, it takes on an identity. And if it is in line with Tao, yet surrender and are renewed every moment within Tao. This is why I talk about there are only two things you can do with free will. One is either resist or surrender, and the other is tell story. So you either resist what's happening or you surrender to what's happening. And you tell story about that. Those are the two things that you have within your free will. Everything else is Tao. And if you can give it all up, then your life would be filled with much less turmoil, much less struggle, because you would just be you. There'd be no reason to make up a story, no reason to judge this moment as being something other than what it is. It doesn't have to be good or bad. It doesn't have to have a measurement attached to it. It just is what it is. And here we are, experiencing it, no matter what. Returning, and then yielding to it. Returning to a sense of identity and releasing that identity and yielding to what actually is. Having an identity, releasing that identity, and the more we do this, the less we will hold on, right? But there's always going to be a returning to being, returning to knowing. All right, thank you so much for that. Penny is joining us. This is wonderful. Thank you for stepping up. That was number 40, by the way. The Movement of Tao. Penny, how are you, dear?
Hey, I'm so glad I've caught you. You keep coming on when I'm working, and I spot
Oh,
you and I go, no.
oh, I'm glad. Well, thank you
I,
for stopping up.
yeah, I literally just stopped work and went, I've got him.
You got me. Yeah,
I've got you.
today was I'm going to be visiting my neurologist today in a couple hours, so I was just coming on a little.
All right.
Yeah, so it's good because I need a new neurologist since I moved. So
Right. Well, good luck with all that.
yeah.
So I didn't hear anything except the last little bit, which obviously really resonates with me.
Mm.
But I've got a feeling to go for, it's difficult. It's kind of 50 to 53. Let's go for 52.
This one is entitled "Like Tao, So Too You."
Okay.
All things issue from Tao. It is their mother. Then, in their own time, they return to Tao. Like Tao, so too you act in the world of manifestation. When you recognize you are the mother of your experience, you can identify the children your actions birth.
Mm.
Loving them as your children, you free yourself from sorrow. Choose to not recognize your motherhood, a victim, filled with desire and judgment. There will be no end to your turmoil. Look into the darkness and learn how to yield. Not allowing your senses to guide you, you will find peace in every crevasse.
Mm. That's quite a long one. That's interesting.
So,
So,
initial thoughts?
yeah, I'm just digesting because that was quite a long one. So my initial, because I'm trying to, okay, I'm overthinking. Right. Initial
Problem.
thoughts were, there's been quite a lot that I'm working on around what I create in this world
Mm-hmm.
and how I am linked to the effect of what I'm creating,
Mm-hmm.
and how much you need to just let go of it, and how much you need to be aware of it, and how much you need to take responsibility for it.
All of that is very interesting.
Mm.
Like, because there are some like inherent paradoxes in there, right? Like, let go,
Mm.
take responsibility. Like, those two
Yeah,
things can't really. But then when we think about children, because like it says here, so we're going to start over and we're going to kind of break it down a little bit line by line.
yeah,
All
go for it.
things all things issue from Tao. It is their mother. Then in their own time they return to Tao. So that is just stating a fact.
Yeah,
It is just stating what Tao is. Everything, all things, all thoughts, all energy, all vibration, all stuff, all matter,
yeah.
all everything issues
All
from Tao.
manifestation. Yeah,
Yes. It
which is
is
from
their
in the
mother
soul.
then in their own time, not in Tao's time.
Mm-hmm.
In their own time, they return to Tao. So they will return to face Tao again and be a part of Tao.
Yeah,
Like Tao, so too you act in the world of manifestation. That means you birth things and
yeah.
then they mature and then they eventually return to you.
Okay.
Okay? When you recognize you are the mother of your experience, you can identify the children your actions birth. Loving them as your children, you free yourself from sorrow.
Ah, of course. So no
So
matter
for
what,
me,
yeah.
so
Mm,
for me, like, I have MS.
yeah,
I'm not a victim of my MS. A, this is my actions coming back to me.
yeah.
This is my energy coming back to me. These are my thoughts coming back to me in some way. Now, if I were to reject my MS, that would be sorrow. That would be me creating sorrow for myself. Because
Yeah.
this is what is. And it's not just what is, it is what I created. So too, I act on the world of manifestation, right? Just
Yeah.
like Tao. Everything that I experience, all of my perception issues from me. It doesn't come from anywhere else. It issues from me.
Yeah.
And so
Um,
I can love when it returns to me.
yeah. And you can love all things that issue from you.
Everything I perceive
Mm. Yeah.
is issued from me because it is being processed by me. I am not the victim. There is nothing that is not me because I'm the one perceiving it.
Huh. Yeah.
So then we move on to the next line, and this is where we get where we get the, like, if you choose to not do this, choose to not recognize your motherhood, or as you put it earlier, your responsibility or the
Mm.
creation that you made, right? Choose to not recognize your involvement, let's say, in the manifestation. A
Mm-hmm.
victim filled with desire and judgment, wanting things to be different, judging and measuring these things as they are. There will be no end to your turmoil.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
It's very relevant.
And then the final couple lines, look into the darkness and learn how to yield. Look into the vastness of the universe. Look into the darkness of you. Like, not the light of manifestation, not the and light, what I mean is, like, you see because of light. And so, like,
Mm.
we always look around us to prove where we are. To prove that we're grounded. But life isn't grounding. Life isn't a grounding experience. Life is about being comfortable with being ungrounded and of being able to appreciate those moments of feeling grounded.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to look into the darkness and learn how to yield to that ungrounded nature and understand that, like, there are things that issue from me and I don't know how they're going to return, but they're going to go out and mature. And when they return, they'll be mine. And these are my children. These are the experiences that I birthed through my existence. not allowing
Excellent.
not allowing your senses to guide you, you will find peace in every crevasse. Right?
Yeah.
When you allow your senses to guide you, oh, this is the right way to go about it. This feels good. This is, like these are like when I measure, when I judge, and when I do all of those things, all of a sudden we find ourselves in this space of like A plus B equals C. But it's like that's not the universe, and that's not life. That's logic, and life has
Yeah.
nothing to do with logic. I mean, part of it does, part of the living that we have now as our frontal lobes developed, we have logic, but that's not life. That's just a sliver of it.
Yeah. All fits into do you know what my first sentence was to you? Well, I've been overthinking this.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I've been trying to think about it logically. But actually, if I come from Tao, if I come from pure intention, if I come from beyond me as a personality, and things that issue forth from me come from that pure intention,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they issue forth from me and they go out, and in a sense, I release them at that stage, and then when they come back, I don't judge them, and I just love the um,
The return of the
results,
prodigal
the
son.
return, the results, yeah. And I
Yeah.
just love the results as they come back to me. And I also get the idea of when you're looking into the darkness, for me, it's what has not yet been illuminated within me.
Right.
Yeah. And what was the last couple of lines?
Look into the darkness and learn how to yield, not
Yeah.
allowing your senses to guide you. You will find peace in every crevasse.
So if I'm things that have not been illuminated, if I find them, if they are observable, if they come to the surface to be looked at, then just yield to that experience. Yeah, don't overthink.
Right. And when we talk about like not allowing senses to guide you, like if you have a new experience
Mm,
and, because something returns, and it's like, oh, this is
yeah,
new. Like, like the first, sensation issues of my MS or whatever, all of that kind of stuff.
yeah,
You know, if I were to be guided by that rather
yeah,
than stepping back and yielding to it, if I were to be guided by it and I would react and respond,
mm,
then I'm not at peace, right?
yeah,
Then I have put on blinders or blinkers, and all of a sudden I am no longer looking at the big picture. I'm looking at a very narrow picture. I'm looking at
yeah,
at one in which I think I can predict, and one that I think I can describe or understand, and that takes a whole different arrogance.
yeah, because we're looking at it from the point of view of the personality, not actually stepping back and seeing it from the point of view or experiencing it from the perception of Tao.
Correct.
The minute you step from Tao into your personality, and start overthinking or judging or reflecting, then you are not experiencing or yielding, um, to Tao.
Right. and
Yeah,
and and
very
you
good.
think you're in control, right? you
Yes,
start
you're
to
trying to
you
be in
start
control. Yeah,
right, you start to pretend to be in control, and then that yields to victimhood, right? That yields to like what that will dissolve into is further separation from Tao, further separation from consciousness. Not that you can actually separate yourself from it, but you won't recognize your connectivity to everything, and you will continually sow disharmony.
yeah, because your focus is not
You
within Tao. It's
right.
it's yeah,
It's
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 within the personality.
selfishness.
It's
Yeah, it's
yeah,
within
yeah,
it's within your limited identity.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting. Very, very good. Thank you. Yeah,
Absolutely. Well, thank you
that's
so
a,
much for stepping up. Yeah, like I don't know what your timer says. Mine says 45 seconds. So I just want to, like, I know my timer's a little off. So, but I really appreciate
well,
you coming. and sharing this one with me.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I caught up with you. What we experienced between each other last time was absolutely phenomenal. Has made huge changes in my life, which are unbelievable. So thank you very
Oh,
much for that. Okay, was
oh,
quite remarkable.
well, thank you so
And
much. Well, I'm
yeah,
glad.
just want
I'm glad. I'm just glad your life is beautiful.
oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Oh,
But that's lovely. That's just thrown a bit of light, a bit of the light.
oh, and there you go. I got Lois in line. We're gonna bring Lois up. Thank you so much, Penny. I appreciate you going through 52 with me. It's a little later in the day, so I'm guessing Lois isn't going to be on the trampoline.
I'm finished. I'm finished. But I actually did weight training today and stuff. So, but I
Oh,
did jump on trampoline just to warm up for 5 minutes. And then I
yeah.
went to my weight training because I got it variated. I told you I messed up my feet. So that means that I was doing way too much. So I'm just, every other day I'm doing the feet stuff. And, other times I'm doing yoga or weight training or resistance or something.
Yeah,
But,
I messed up my. I was crawling around under my house this week, doing stuff in the crawl space, trying to jack up my house and things, and I tweaked my shoulder. I got it in a sling now, and we're just taking care, just taking care, like And as I was on my walk today, I was like, well, how did this issue from me, right? Like I was talking about
mhm,
my energy, and how did I invite this? What did I, like what am I doing, and what do I need to pay attention to, and not that I need an answer, but I'm just sort of like
right.
feeling into it.
And then that's how it works. And the thing is, I'm gonna tell you this. You may get mad at me, but I don't care. That MS ain't yours. The MS ain't yours. Stop saying my MS, my MS. That's not yours. It's just affecting your body because something is not right in your system, but it's not yours. It's
Right.
just a sign that something's wrong. So you keep saying my MS, my MS. No, Martin, stop. And I'm over
Okay.
here saying stop in the background.
Well, good. Well, good. I love a good reminder, and I love to be conscious about my word choice. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, cause I used to do that, and it stayed with me. And when I stopped claiming it as it belonged to me, and said, okay, my body is being affected by this, okay,
Yeah.
and because my body is telling me that something is not right in the kingdom. So let me find out what's not right in the kingdom and correct that, and my body won't be affected by that. But it was never mine, okay,
Right.
because I
Right.
used to
Right.
say that crazy. My mom, again, I got it from my parents. My
Hmm.
arthritis, my rheumatism,
Right. Right. Right.
my
It's like
diabetes.
it's mine, and that allows me to be a victim to it.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, I love you, Martin Young. Thank you for not taking offense. Because I was
No,
like,
not at
oh, do I
all. Come
say this
on.
to him
Like
or not?
no.
Okay, because I said this to somebody about their lupus and they went off on me. Okay, and I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay, then you guess yours. That is your lupus.
Right, it's all yours, right? Like, and
It's
that's
all
and that's the
yours.
thing, like I appreciate it. I don't want to say my MS, like when I usually talk about MS, I talk about that I have a diagnosis of.
Yes, and that's what I was used to you hearing you say back
Yeah,
last
and
year.
now that like I'm
They flared up, you
currently
started
in a
calling
flare
it
up, and so
yours.
it's like
Yes.
it's more personal, and I really appreciate you bringing that up because that gives me something to look at.
Okay. Well, thank you. And I don't even know what number to pick. So you do me a favor and do a pickle finger of faith for me because I sat there on that trampoline and on that vibration board trying to figure out what number do I want.
Well,
And I don't.
when you came on, I already picked a number. It was 65.
Okay, let's go
Because
with that.
this is sometimes what I'll do is when someone comes up, I'll just randomly pick one for them in my mind, and to see how close. And usually it's just a couple numbers off. So, um, I'm gonna look
Okay,
at
so give me
65,
65. Okay.
and it's entitled "Simple Awareness." Masters.
I'm
Yep.
sorry. I
Yep. See what I'm
love the
saying?
title. I love the title
Yep.
already because that's all I was doing, making you aware. It's not
I
yours.
know, I know. Like, and here we
Okay,
go.
go ahead.
Masters,
Okay.
masters aren't interested in educating people. They would rather them be yielding and kind. When people put faith in knowledge, they lack faith in their own awareness. When they are happy to not know, they have no choice but to put faith in themselves. When governing a country, family, or self, avoid being clever and using knowledge to guide you. People are not naturally stupid or submissive. When not leaning on knowledge, all things are guided by awareness. And I think that that really kind of does focus quite a bit on what we were talking about just moments ago, right? This
Yeah,
idea that like, hey, don't like when you call it mine, you are taking ownership. Ownership,
yeah,
like talks about knowledge, talks about this is yours. But the reality
right,
is like when we can let go of the idea that we know it and then just yield to the awareness, like, oh, when there are experiences that I'm having, which are like this is how, we can look at it. And so, avoid being clever and using knowledge to guide you. Like I have knowledge that I, quote unquote, have MS or my
yeah.
MS
That
or
you have
whatever,
all your
right? I have
symptoms
all
are
that knowledge, but if
RRMS, and
I
that's
could
all.
just,
Yeah,
but people are not
go ahead.
naturally submissive or stupid. So if I give up that knowledge, I open myself up to awareness of what's happening right now
Right, and
rather
then you're
than
and
having a
rather.
prediction.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And that's how it goes. The thing is that we sit there. Our mind, our brain's natural inclination is to figure things out and try to categorize and put them in the right part of our computer. Okay,
Right.
and the thing is that when we are being affected by anything, whether it's a disease, whether it's our anger, or whatever it is, and the thing is, it's just as simply we need to stand in the wholeness and simply be aware that, oh, this is happening. Don't say,
Yep.
is this happening? No, you just say, this is happening. Oh, why? Oh my, or whatever it is, and just acknowledge it's happening and then feel it and then say, now I know I may be feeling this, but I already know my body's healed. So this too shall pass.
That's
And
right.
and generally it does, unless we claim it to be ours and then we hold on to it for a long
Yep.
time because we said it was ours. That's why I have in my mind anything in my house I can give away. Anything. It don't even matter because it ain't mine. I'm just using it. Well, I use my money to buy it, but I'm just using it temporarily because when I'm gone, who is it going to? Whoever. Okay. So
Mm,
for me, I don't. I own it, quote unquote, but I really don't because if I can say I own it, then it's going to get to where it owns me. And then when somebody says, "Hey, Lloyd, you want to go to Chicago? Hey, Mom, you want to go to Chicago in 2 days?" I couldn't just get up and go because I'd be too worried about all the stuff. Oh, the this, the that, what I'm gonna do? Oh, the package is coming. No, no, we're not supposed to be attached to stuff like that. We're just supposed to be aware of our surroundings, be aware of our emotions, be aware of our feelings, be aware of our thoughts, be aware
yeah.
of what we're claiming the I am for. Okay,
Hmm.
okay, or the my, or the I. Because whatever we put that eye on and bring it to us, it's going to stay until we release it from that fucking box. Because it's still a
Yep.
box of judgment. I judge this to be mine. So therefore, I let go. That's where I'm at. Because I don't want anything, like I told you, with that accident, it was the best thing that could have happened to me at this juncture in my life because it woke me the fuck up to some stuff I was claiming that wasn't mine. It woke me the
Yeah.
fuck up to the stuff that I was holding on to that wasn't mine.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it woke me up this beliefs that I had that my mama had passed down to me, that my mama did, then it was like I thought that was me. No, that wasn't me. That was mom. But I
That's
couldn't
right.
know that until I got quiet and started listening to him. I'm like, where did I get that thought from? Where is that? That's not how I believe. Where is that? And
Right.
then I was shown. I heard, oh, da 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 da, and I'm like, shit. But the
That's
thing
where it
is,
is.
but if I had claimed it to be mine, my blood pressure would still be sky high
Yeah.
because I would have never gotten to the awareness that what I was doing and what I had been doing and gathering and claiming and my, okay, that it
And
would get
that's
me that,
that
go
comes
ahead.
right back to this line when people put their faith in knowledge, like this is yours, because
Yeah.
that's the influence that you're under. They lack faith in their own awareness.
And like I said, I'm aware that when I leave to this earth, that all this shit is going to somebody else, and it ain't going with me. So ain't none
That's
of
right.
it mine. Even the
That's
disease
right.
ain't going with me. So it ain't
That's right.
mine. If I ain't taking it with me, it's not mine. The only thing I take
Yeah.
with me is that spirit that will leave my body. That's totally mine, my vibration. And that's
And that's
all I'm
all you are.
responsible
And
for.
that's all
And
you
that's
are.
all I
Everything
am.
else is baggage.
Thank you very much. Then that's where I stand. So this was a good one, and it was right on time. Yeah. So and I'm saying this to you because evidently somewhere along the line I must have been saying my high blood pressure,
Uh-huh.
but it ain't high no more. I'm gonna be real. It ain't high no more at all, and it's to the point where this medication it got me so sleepy every day. But I don't want to stop until they tell me to drop it down. But I
Yeah.
just got me sleepy. I'm like, oh golly, why am I so tired? And then I looked at the medication, it causes drowsiness, and I'm thinking, damn, maybe the
Mm.
dosage is too high now because I'm too tired. But I'm not going to be so naive to say I'm taking myself off because I know.
Right.
Fuck that shit. I'm gonna let them
Yeah,
see where it is
because
and
at
where it's
that
in.
point you're leaning on knowledge again. Like I know I could
Exactly.
do this and stuff, and you're not allowing yourself to be where you are.
Yeah. Yeah, and now like I said, and now I understand that this is part of the reason why I'm a little bit tired, and because my sister said, well, what's wrong? I'm just sleepy. Shit, I sleep all the time now. But then again, I also heard other people say they've been sleepy a lot too. So it's like I don't know, but I know that the medication does make me a little bit listless. Like, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like doing that because I just don't have the energy. And there's no reason I'm eating the right foods and all that other kind of stuff. So the only thing that's different about me is the medication and that I have brought the blood pressure down to normal ranges. And, now it's
Right.
actually going under what they wanted me to have it. And it's going up,
That
you know what I'm
happens.
saying? Yes.
Yeah.
And I think, and it's, I'm not, don't think this is complaint. This is a
No.
fucking victory. Okay.
Yep.
But right now, until I get the okay, I'm not going to drop it from 50 to 25. When they say, okay,
Yeah.
let's drop it to 25 and see how you work over the next 3 months, then I'll say, okay, let's do this. But until they tell me that, I'm going to leave it alone and I'm going to deal with being tired.
Yeah.
Because rest don't hurt nobody.
No.
It allows your body to heal, and I used to be really crazy about, oh my God, I can't be laying down in the middle of the day because that's what you couldn't do that in my mama's house. If you was laying down in the middle of the day, oh, you bored? You want something to do? Go in
Yep.
there and
Yep.
clean that
Yep.
kitchen. Oh, hell no. So I always kept myself busy, 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 busy. And so maybe this is happening because I need to slow my ass down. So I'm not
Yeah.
gonna think I know everything because I don't know shit. I know some stuff, but I don't know nothing. Okay, and I know that may sound stupid, but I
No,
really
it's
don't.
it's important to know your humility and know where you stand and to know where those lines are.
Yeah, and so the thing is that I like this. When we sit in that place of knowing, we're not standing in our awareness because
That's
when
right.
we say we know, we stop the growth in that area.
Yep.
We
That's
stop the
right. That's
healing in
right.
that area. We stop everything in that area where we say we know.
That's
And when you
right. As
say
soon
I
as we say
am,
we know.
this is my, I am, this is mine. Oh, you just
Yep.
put yourself in a motherfucking box. You better break
That's
out that
right.
bitch. Okay, because
And
the
I am
thing is,
so glad
because
you
it'll
mentioned
limit you.
something.
Because it'll limit
Yeah.
you. So I
That's right.
love you, my brother. I really
I
do.
love
You
you.
know I do. I
I
traveled all the
do.
way in 2 days, jumped up and said, I'm on that plane this year. Let's go.
Oh, you just dropped. Thank you so much. Love you. Everybody else, thank you for joining us for Tao of the Day. If you have a number between 1 and 81 you'd like to select, you can step up, of course. Otherwise, I am going to be signing off. Thank you so much, Penny and Lois. I read 40, 52, and 65 today. It was a good day. Thank you. Love you. And until next time, keep recovering yourself.